Yeah. He's not happy.
Guggen Cash's Cycle Team in association with Macklin Sharp. I've got Eddie Hearn anyway. Sorry.
2 o'clock in the morning.
It's
And
2
we
o'clock in
ain't
the morning.
home, yeah. Is that the words?
I don't know.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, as the rounds were sort of going on in that Joshua Breazeale fight, were you not concerned whether he'd win or not, but were you like, well, it's got to be this round, it's got to be this round?
Yeah, I mean, look, I told you off camera, you know his camp's been a shocker, and he's just been pulled pillar to post with stuff to do, and from the Charles Martin fight, and the worry going into this fight was that, if the fight did go into the later rounds, but he was comfortable, he controlled the fight beautifully. He showed something different tonight. He showed he can break an opponent down. I always knew Dominic Breazeale would come and put a good show up, and people said, it'd be a 1-rounder or a 2-rounder. He rode it out, Breazeale. He took a lot of punishment, came back in the fight, caught AJ over a couple of shots as well. And it was a good 6.5 rounds in the bank, and a solid first defence of his title.
Obviously, moving forward now, you'll be looking for November. Is it an idea to maybe get the Parker mandatory out of the way?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean,
not saying Parker's an easy fight.
There's so many, look, before, obviously, the Fury injury and the drug allegations I've just seen in the Mirror. I don't know what the full story is on that, but it's a big concern. We talked to Peter about if he beats Klitschko, doing that fight in November, December, or do we wait and do it in the summer? That's obviously not an option for us now. So do we fight Parker, or do we fight Parker in February or March, and then have another fight in November, December? So I think we're going to fight Parker at some time. I think it's a good fight, and AJ's excited about that fight. So every heavyweight under the sun is calling AJ out. I saw Deontay Wilder call him out on Showtime. I saw Oscar De La Hoya just tweet about Luis Ortiz. So of course you want. He's the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest fighter in world boxing. He's certainly the biggest heavyweight and the biggest draw in heavyweight boxing. So everyone's going to want a piece of him, and he's still learning. So if you want to fight him, you're going to want to fight him now than 3 or 4 fights. And I'm just glad that one's out of the way and he can just have a nice rest now and just be a young man again. He's 26 years of age. We take him from the weigh-in yesterday. He's being stuffed in the back of a Range Rover with people throwing themselves at the car, chasing him down the road. You saw it out the back of York Hall. It's not normal. It's like being a pop star. There's a huge amount of pressure on it.
Even though it went 7 rounds, the finish was clinical as you like, wasn't it? I mean, a bit like the Dylan White. It was brutal as can be.
He puts his shots together so well. The jab was fantastic tonight, and I thought it was a good performance. He realised after 2 or 3 rounds that he wasn't going to blow him away. He slowed the pace. He worked off the jab. He broke him down, and it was clinical. You're always going to get people trying to dig holes. He looked tired or he looked slow. He wasn't 100%, but it was still a very good performance.
Going on to Groves Murray now, it was a fantastic fight. And credit to Martin Murray as well. He's just, we know how strong Martin Murray is, and obviously a great performance from Groves.
George impressed me. I think under Shane, he looks fresher. He's punching harder. He was very tired. After the fight, he came out to me, he could hardly stand up, and nor could Martin. And he hurt Martin really badly in, I think, the 6th or 7th round, and Martin didn't really recover. He got hurt again a couple of times in the fight. Hurt George in the 11th and the 12th, and I was screaming at him to jump on him, but he didn't have anything left in the tank. And at the end of it, 2 great warriors just left completely out on their feet at the end of 12 rounds. And as we knew it would be, just a brilliant fight. You'd almost like to see it again, but for George, he'll go on. He might get shot if Sturm gets stripped of his title for the Chudinov fight for a title maybe. And for Martin, I don't know. I think he feels like he wants to carry on, and it was a big loss for him. But he'll review his position, and hats off to both guys. It was just a wonderful fight.
Chris Eubank defended his British title successfully against Tom Doran. I found that press conference very, very interesting.
Yeah, great.
To see the kind of relationship between you and English. You looked a bit as if, from what Chris Eubank was saying, is if the fight doesn't happen, it's down to Sky, not us. So
the basics is that deal is done, and we have a meeting with Sky on Monday. He's going to try and bend a few numbers and so forth, but the reality is, if they really want the fight, it's ready to happen. and I can't do any more than I've done. So we'll find out if they really want to fight.
We're assuming obviously it's something to do with obviously the money or pay-per-view splits. Is what they're asking.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to ask for, but I know what the answer's going to be. So we'll see. I'm no mucking around. I ain't got time to muck around.
So you're saying Monday either way, you'll know
probably,
internally whether it's going to.
Yeah, internally,
Done or not. Just a little recap on the rest of the show. Obviously, John Wayne Hibbert, as brave as you like.
I mean, people again, people are always quick to say, "Oh, that's easy fight for John Wayne Hibbert." I knew it was a 50-50 fight, and he got beaten up, but he got, I think he overtrained for the fight. He trained for 16 weeks, and he just looked flat, And I think, it was a tough fight at a high level for him. Eubank was a strong performance against Doran. Doran started the fight really well, and then just eventually got overpowered and overworked. Felix Cash was exciting. I enjoyed his fight. I thought Conor Benn was really good, nice and composed, and I thought Dillian Whyte, he got some good rounds in, and I think ultimately, Dillian needed those rounds. He was disappointed with his performance, but I wasn't. He's had 7 months out, and. It was a great night full of action.
Obviously, it was announced yesterday that Liam Smith will defend.
Well, I announced it for you last week, didn't I?
Well, you didn't really announce it.
No, it's a good fight. I'm over the moon for Liam.
To fight
I know he's not with us, but look, I'm very close with the Smith family, and it's a great opportunity for him.
Okay, well listen.
All right, mate.
Thanks for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch up with you soon.